Hi everyone, I'm Nick Olivo, and today we're going to look at 3 API scripts that will help streamline your Roll20 games. Specifically, we'll look at scripts that automatically create character sheets for your players. We'll see a script that displays tokens' health in an aura, and we'll see a script that will help you track whose turn it is. And one final thing to mention, you will need a pro account in order to use these scripts. Before we dive in, I'd just like to thank Roll20 for sponsoring this video. Now the first script we're going to talk about is called Welcome Package. This script does one thing, but it does it really well, and that is it creates character sheets for your players. Now if you think about it, the flow usually goes something like this. You create a brand new game and you invite your friend to it. Your friend accepts the invitation, and then you can create them a character sheet, assign it to them, and then you let them know that you've done that, and then they log back in and they can start creating their character. But if you and your friend aren't like on Discord or aren't having a chat right then and there can be this long gap of time from the point where your friend accepted the invitation until they can actually begin creating your character. So what Welcome Package does is it streamlines all that so that once a new player joins your game, they automatically get a new character sheet created and assigned to them so they can begin just making their character and getting right to it. The Welcome Package script is part of the Roll20 script library, and I'll pop a card up in the top right there to show how to install scripts if you're not familiar with how to do that. In addition, Welcome Package also creates this Create a Character macro for all of your players, and this allows them to create a new character in case something bad happens to their old one. So they can just run this macro, and they can put in a name for their new character, so we'll just call their new character Corvo. We'll click submit, and you can see now a message has been posted into the chat saying a blank character has been created for you to start building Corvo. And if you actually click on this link right here, it opens up the newly created character sheet and you can get right to creating that new character. Alright, so that's Welcome Package, and as you can see, it's really fast, really easy, and makes your life a lot easier as the DM because it just makes those character sheets for you. And because of that, that script is actually the first one that I install in all the games that I create. Okay, so this next one that I want to show you is called Aura Tint HealthColors. This script is also part of the Roll20 library, and what it does is puts these colored auras around your enemy's tokens. And so what happens is as the creature takes damage, the tint of this aura changes. So if you watch in the player's view, I'm going to drop the skeleton's HP by about half. And when I do that, you can see that the aura has changed from green down to this kind of sickly yellow. And then if I drop it even further, like if we drop it down to say 1 hit point, then you see that the aura has changed to this red color, and we know that the skeleton is getting close to death. And this is a really nice thing to do for your players because now they know sort of the condition that the enemies are in without knowing their exact hit points. This is really handy for any casters who have Toll the Dead. They probably want to know which enemy they want to target so they can get that D12 worth of damage. This script is also great for when one of your players gets in there on the first round of initiative, lays down a whole ton of damage on a monster, and then the color doesn't change. And then your players realize, whoa, we are punching way above our weight class here. We got to get out of here. So Aura Tint HealthColors is a really great script for that. And one other thing I really like about this script is once it's installed, that's it. You don't need to configure anything or anything like that. It just works. So good stuff there. The last script I want to talk about is called Turn Marker 1. And so when you open up the turn order window and you've rolled initiative, this script puts this orange circle around the character or monster whose current turn it is, and it also pops a message up here in the chat saying whose turn it currently is. So right now we know it's currently the skeleton's turn, and it's this skeleton. So this skeleton would, come over here, he would make an attack on my paladin, Sir Holiness McRighteous, and then after he's done, I, as the DM, will click this EOT button for end of turn, and that will advance to the next character or monster in the initiative window. And you can see here the orange glyph moved to whoever's turn it currently is. That character or monster would do their operations. We move on to the next one, and so on, until we get to Sir Holy McRighteous, who can then come over here. He can, lay down a smite, take out this last skeleton, and then he'll end of turn and go from there. So players can press the EOT button when it's the end of their turn. You as the DM can EOT anybody, monsters, characters, or whatever. And as you can see, we just continue advancing through the initiative order at this point. You no longer need to press this button on behalf of your players or anything like that. And then there's never a question about, okay, which skeleton are we going to do? I mean, you can hover over the skeleton to see who's who, but this way, you don't need to do that. It's just always there and available. Now, this script is not part of the Roll20 library, so I'm going to put a link to it down in the video's description of the GitHub where you can get that script. And again, that video I popped a card to a little earlier has instructions on how to go about installing a script from outside of the Roll20 library. Now, this script does have a few extra bells and whistles. If you come into the chat here and you type !TM, you'll see that gives you a whole bunch of options that are available here. So you can, say, change the announcement mode. So like that purple box that says whose turn it is, you can toggle that on or off. You can turn on or off whether or not you want to skip tokens that are currently on, say, the GM layer. You can turn on rotation so that this glyph will spin as it moves to the next character. These are all just neat things that you can turn on or off if you want to. Me personally, I just like to use the script exactly as it is out of the box, but just want to make you aware that those capabilities did exist in case you wanted to use them. So there you have it, 3 API scripts that can help streamline your games. I use all 3 of these in the games that I run, and they've really made my life easier as a DM, and my players have appreciated them too. If you've got a script that you'd recommend, throw it down in the comments below. And if you found this video helpful, please give it a like and consider subscribing. And until next time, folks, have a great day.